Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are building something super fun and colorful, a cupcake rotating slideshow using HTML, CSS and Javascript. We will create a background that smoothly transitions between cupcake themed images, and we'll add a cute cupcake graphic that spins with playful time stops. So let's begin. Let's start by setting up our HTML structure. I have added a div with class slideshow that will hold our background and an image tag for the cupcake images we will animate later. Let's move on to CSS and make it look pretty. I'm adding a basic CSS reset to remove default padding and margin. I am also hiding any overflow from the body so nothing spills outside the screen. Visually no changes yet, but these resets are important for clean styling. Next, we will work on animating the cupcake. First, in the cupcake class, we set the position to absolute. So we can place a cupcake anywhere on the screen using left and top values. In this case, I have set it to minus 530px and top 0, which means the image is offset to the left side and outside the main container. Next, the transform origin is set to 50%. This defines the point around which the rotation happens. By default, CSS transform rotate around the center, but explicitly setting it to 50% horizontally and 50% vertically ensures the cupcake spins neatly around its own center. Then we apply an animation using this line, animation rotate with stops 16 seconds linear infinite. This means that we are using keyframe animation named rotate with stops. It will take 16 seconds for one full loop and it will run at a constant speed thanks to linear, and it will repeat forever because of the infinite property. We define how the cupcake rotates over time by setting percentage points. Here's what is happening. Notice how I use small gaps like jumping from 20 to 25% to create a quick spin between stops, and larger gaps like holding from 25 to 45% to make it pause at each quarter turn. This gives the animation a playful stop and go feel. Notice how I use small gaps like jumping from 20 to 25% to make it pause at each quarter turn. This gives the animation a playful stop and go feel. You can use this image to understand what is happening behind the scenes. Let's move on to JavaScript. We start by creating an array called backgrounds that holds the names of 4 cupcake background images we want to cycle through. Arrays are used to store multiple values in a variable, and here each string in the array represents the file name of the background image. Next, we declare a variable called index and set it to 0. This will help us to track which background image we are currently showing. We then grab the slideshow element from the HTML using document.query selector. This allows us to later update the background image style of this element using JavaScript. The main part of logic is inside the set interval function. Guess what's happening? Every 4000 milliseconds, that's every 4 seconds, this function runs. First, we increase the index by 1 using index equal to index plus 1% backgrounds dot length. Why are we using the percentage is here? Actually, that's called the modulo operator, and it ensures that once we reach the end of array, we loop back to 0 and start again. So after image 3, we go to image 0. Then we update the slideshow's background image by setting it to its style.backgroundImage property. We plug in the correct image file name from the array using template literals with black text. Alright, now that our JavaScript is working and cycling through the backgrounds, let's go back to CSS and make sure our slideshow section is styled properly so the background images look good on the page. And that's it for today's project. We built a fun cupcakes rotating slideshow using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, complete with a background transition, a playful stop and go rotation animation. I hope you enjoyed following along and picked up some cool tricks for your own creative projects. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more coding tutorials and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Thank you.